studios have held back artists for far too long. The system is set up to reward the studios and not the artists. In this polarized world, where everything is viewed through a political lens, it used to be entertainment that allowed us to escape. Whether it was a great movie, music, or a favorite entertainer, we always had those mediums to free us from our daily lives. At Creado, we are developing a brand new solution built with the artists in mind, empowering them to deliver original content directly to an engaged audience. Whether you are an investor or you simply want to support our mission, you can become a member today. We are ready to take the next step to bring this to market, but we need your help. Join our mission today at creado.media, and together we will let freedom stream.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Welcome to A New Perspective.
I'm Summer, and this is my amazing co-host, Lisa. We are so glad that you are here with us tonight. We are taking things in a little different direction. We are not using green screens tonight. This is my actual house. Behind me is my pool, and that's Lisa's couch, and we're just
I'm couching it.
Relax with you all tonight.
I'm couching it because let's be real. It's like 10 o'clock in the evening here in Florida. So, you know, you got 9
o'clock here in Texas.
So, sans green screen, both ends. Let's get real. Show's taken a weird turn for us. We've gotten a little off track. I think, Summer and I, being the chatty cats that we are, we get a little too chatty at times. And I want to offer an apology to our viewers, our audience, and thank you guys for hanging with us because, I know we've talked things out to the point of nauseum, and we've gotten a little carried away at times and off topic, and we're going to try to rein that back in and get back down to business and do what we do, which is our detective work. We're probably better journalists right now than the legacy media is. So that's where we're at. And I am excited about tonight's episode. I think we have a lot to uncover, and there's still so much that's just going to be rolling out regarding this entire scandal. So
what a scandal it is.
I can't even believe it. And it's the most frustrating thing to me when I keep seeing this laptop from hell sort of flash over the screen every direction you go now over the last couple of days in every social media. Everything brings me right back to that Biden-Trump debate with Trump calling him out, the laptop from hell, and, Biden dismissing it as Russia disinformation. They just cannot release themselves from pointing the finger at somebody else on their own guilt.
Yep.
Everything that they're doing, they point the finger and, point it towards somebody else's direction. So next time we start, and every time now going forward, and as it has been, when they're pointing the finger and accusing somebody of being a certain way, it's because they're actually doing it. And that's been 100% true. I can't think of an instance where that hasn't been true. So I don't know. Well, Summer, you've been doing a lot of work. What do you got?
Well, I think for me, it boils down to, and it's hard because there's so much information that's out there. And, when this all happened a couple of years ago, I really did spend a lot of time. I kind of went down that rabbit hole. I was very curious, but I kind of go back to where's the heart of our country? Why are we defending? Why is this being hidden from the American people? I think that especially at the time that it happened, with it being the elections, it makes me wonder, why are we so concerned about protecting the criminal and not those that are victims, which quite frankly, every single one of us as, American citizens are victims of what took place with this laptop and these scandals. And it's a big deal.
Our vote was stolen over it. Let's get real. Our vote was stolen over it. And it's because they're more about, creating the narrative and holding on to a narrative and, regurgitating a narrative than they are about reporting actual events that are occurring. And, you have to wonder how many hands are in the cookie jar. where is the spear of this whole thing? Where is the head of it? And that's the thing that we're all sort of going, what the hell is going on? But I mean, I'm angry because I see all these people that have constantly thrown, daggers and insults at Trump's kids. And we've got a person right now that's leading our country whose kids are, or at least his one, is the most scandalous, disgusting, awful human being. Where is this guy anyway? He was, dishonored and, booted from the military for his skiing obsession. And I think we can all infer what that means. He's handed all of these jobs without experience, and this poor guy, this poor laptop repair shop owner, he is bankrupt. He is lost everything because he spoke out.
Yeah.
And this act, and they said, Russian disinformation, nothing is true. There was 50, what are they, NSA, advisors that said this is all disinformation. Now there's maybe 4 of them that are saying it's still disinformation, whereas the rest of them are like, no, this is true. You want
to know what else I find really interesting is that when he took that laptop, he actually took it to the police, and he took it to a department that Beau Biden, of all people, Beau Biden started, which was the Center for Protection of Children or something in Delaware. And what did they do with it? They sat on it. They did absolutely nothing. And it's interesting because Beau Biden's daughter is all over this laptop from hell, and the family is all like, I am telling you, this family is just corrupt, and it's just incredibly sad to me that those that were put in a place to actually protect and serve did absolutely nothing.
They did the opposite.
They did the exact opposite.
They are the criminals, and here we go. I think I recall Rudy Giuliani having the bar pull his ability to practice law because he tried to expose this.
Yep, he sure did.
And now it's come to fruition. There's a lot of truth to it. They're saying, no, this is accurate now. So, I mean, where's the recourse? What happens with this now?
As American people, we have a right to know. We have a right to ask every single question and get an answer because, quite frankly, there are a lot of scandals. So when this came out as being real, that means that everything on that laptop, all those emails, all of the information, all the businesses, all that stuff, not just the porn or the drug-induced nonsense and photos that are on there, but the scandals that Joe Biden is involved in.
Right.
And
the pay-for-play.
Pay-for-play. And I think that's a really good segue is, pay-for-play with Ukraine. That company that Hunter Biden, that energy company.
Burisma. Yeah.
Burisma. And it just, I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm sick to my stomach over it all. I can't even imagine what it must be like for Donald Trump right now. After everything that they put him through, to sit here and know that all of this, is true, and what, just the hell that they've put quite frankly, all of us through. It's frustrating.
But you have to wonder what kind of environment somebody is raised in to lead them into a life such as Hunter Biden's life that's been lived so far, and all we know about his shortcomings and his disgraces. What was his upbringing like? They're really keeping it in the family circle, if you know what I mean, with a lot of things like that. But this whole pedophilia thing, child predator. He is a child predator. He is a drug
and they all knew it. Even Jill.
No experience being put in a position to be running an energy company, nevertheless one in another country. Why is that? Why is that?
Well, he was in several countries because it wasn't just Ukraine. He had dealings in China. He had dealings in Moscow. He had dealings in Kazakhstan. I mean, I'm telling you, this crackhead, for being, just honestly a piece of trash.
Yeah.
He sure had a lot, and he had a lot of money. And he talked about that. I mean, it's all over the computer. I mean, it's honestly all over the internet, but
something interesting just came to mind. When I say those Russian dolls, do you know what I'm talking about? Where you open it and it keeps getting smaller and smaller.
Yes.
So it almost seems to me that Hunter Biden has been placed in this very hood ornament position, like the front man, the cover. So these backdoor dealings can be done in the same respect that now we've got Joe Biden acting as a hood ornament for this shadow government that's actually running the shit show that we know to be our formerly great country, the United States of America. And we're no longer leading the charge. And now we've got some concerns, and I'm not trying to go off topic, I'm veering it right back in, but I'm seeing stuff going on with Korea making some interesting threats towards the United States. We've got the Russia-Ukraine thing, and I mean, we just can't seem to pull away from the Russia-Ukraine thing at all. This feels like it's been going on now for almost 10 years.
Well, it's been going on a lot longer. I mean, I'm telling you, I want answers. Because here's my thing. I know that if this was Donald Trump, if this was one of his sons, if this was Eric or Don Jr. or Ivanka or anybody for that matter, anybody that's associated with Trump, this would be the biggest thing. I mean, you wouldn't be able to turn on your TV, your phone, your nothing.
Nothing.
Yet we hear crickets. And then those of us that are like, wait a second, this isn't right. This isn't making sense. We're called whatever.
This bullshit impeachment that took place. The bullshit impeachment that took place because he was Trump impeached over this because he was trying to get answers over these underdealings. We've got money laundering now going on right in front of our faces in the form of protecting the Ukraine borders. No, you're not.
No,
you're not.
Well, and that's the thing, is that if you go and you look, so there's a 78-page document. And I kid you not, I know I sent it to you the other night. And I just was going, I mean, I was kind of skimming through it because there's a lot to read, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
How are we here? How is it that this is being completely ignored? There are pages and pages. There are people. This is like the biggest scandal.
It is, but so is the next thing. And I'm not trying to change the topic, but every single thing that we conspiracy theorists have been shouting with vaccines, with Hunter, with Joe, the puppet, Biden wearing the mask, whatever the hell he is, the puppet, who knows what this dude is doing anymore. I'm truly frustrated, and they're gonna just continually keep dismissing it. When do we actually start seeing some real change takes? Where does this lead us to? Are we going to see some internet like disruption happening here? Because, I made a mention on a social media account of this Hunter Biden laptop a year ago, and I got my account suspended for misinformation. Wasn't misinformation after all, was it? Yeah. These fact checkers are unfactual.
Well, that's another thing is, I guarantee you that the media was paid a shit ton of money to hide this, because if this would have come out when it should have come out, right, and
we'd have a very different outcome.
Then it would, the American people. I mean, I was saying this to Eric tonight. I was like, a lot of my friends and family who aren't as involved, if you will, as all of us are, and are on top of this stuff. If they would have known this, it would have been a very different story. Not just, how they voted, if whatever, but just the fact that it would have been like, well, wait a second. This is a person trying to run for the president. It's almost like the president doesn't even matter anymore. It's like, oh, whatever.
Yeah. Why wouldn't this be worth looking into? If there's even an inkling of suspicion and they want to put it to bed, there should be some actual investigation taking place. But instead we were, no, this is Russia disinformation, the same way they did with the elections safe and secure, completely safest election in the history of ever. We're not even looking into it. Just stop.
But let's
Just
not
shut
talk
down.
about all the videos of everything happening, the pipes breaking,
Right.
the boards being put up on the windows, people being sent home except for, the Democrats, it's just, I've never seen anything like this.
And the patheticness of last week, Joe Biden getting up and making his speech and just kind of sliding that in there. You find yourself sometimes in these compromising situations where you're lying in bed and you're naked and people just take these pictures of you to hold against you at ransom. That's a really peculiar thing to say.
No. Well, that's it. It's interesting you say that, because do you remember when Hunter, there's a video out there where he was talking about the second laptop. So there were actually 2 laptops. This kid should not have any laptops. He really should not have technology. Clearly he is, the crack interferes with everything. But he said, oh, it was the Russians. The Russians came in, and he even said there's compromising information on there. And what is it? These poor Russians. I'm like, no wonder Putin's pissed off at us. Like, I would be too. He's like the scapegoat of everybody.
He's over it. He's not going to take it anymore. We're all over it. And now we've got, we're going to be safe harboring some Ukraine citizens. And, that's fine. But how many of those Ukraine citizens are actual good Ukraine citizens? What are we bringing in? What is going on with our border? Haven't heard anything on our southern border, but anyways, so you've got some interesting stuff here that you've sort of dug up. Let's go right over to that. Hunter's joint global equity firm, the Bohai Harvest Equity Investment Fund, which helped coordinate the purchase by a Chinese mining company of the world's largest cobalt source in the Congo. Why is that important?
Well, it's China. We have dealings with China, and that particular, because of this little illegal mining company or whatever, an entire village was destroyed and a person died as a result of Hunter Biden. And again, what is it? I mean, yes, I do blame Hunter Biden, but I blame the big guy. Right.
Is it Hunter, or is it Papa Joe and Uncle? Who is it? Who is it?
I think it's them. I think what it was for Hunter was, you're going to get a lot of money. And for him, it was, I'm going to buy a lot of crack and hookers.
As long as he's having his lavish skiing, disgusting pedophile lifestyle and his voyeurism paid for, and he's in an oblivion, he's blitzed out of his mind, and blowing cocaine all over his ridiculous paintings, and he's the smartest guy that Joe's ever met.
Well, he probably is.
I can't even go there with that. I mean, considering the conversations he's able to, I don't even know. Okay, so this deal gave China control over a huge chunk of the world's known cobalt supplies, which is an ingredient that's necessary to make electric car batteries.
There you go. Ding, ding, ding.
Why are we pushing electric cars so fast and hard and raising gas prices? Oh, you should get electric.
Follow the money.
Follow the money. Everything leads back to money. These people are disgusting. And then we've got Hunter Biden getting his $3.5 million payment from the wealthy wife of Moscow's former mayor, Elena Buturina, amid a slew of other financial transactions.
I mean, I get when you're the vice president's son or the president's son, you get to meet high people.
Well,
but
he was the senator's son. He was the senator's son. He was the vice president's son. Untouchable.
Well, and you know what? Just to kind of circle back, I hate that saying now, but one of the things I found very interesting is that he was getting $50,000 a month for being on that board in I don't even know what board is it, Burisma or something? I don't know.
Burisma. For using his name. For having his name on there, right? And he doesn't, I mean, what experience does he bring? What experience does this person, this individual even have? It's just a signature. Somebody's stamping his name for him. He's got absolutely nothing to do with it. They're actually get on a plane and go do whatever it is you do. We'll take care of it. Get out of the way. We just needed your name.
Yep.
Right? And that's what it seems like to me. So, we've got this Russian doll situation going. Where is the top of this thing? Where is the Russia doll? I don't think it has anything to do with Russia. Interestingly enough, the irony.
Russia is literally the scapegoat. It's just like what they're doing with Trump. It's the name that they're using to distract you from everything that they are actually doing. It's insane. I've never seen anything like this because. All
right. I want to move on to this thing right here because I'm looking at this going, I really want to know more about this topic, and you've got a lot here, and it's very interesting stuff. So Hunter Biden received a $3.5 million payment from the wealthy wife. We know that. And then what came to be from that is other financial transactions, entanglements. Federal government officials warned presented conflicts of interest as the former vice president spearheaded the Obama administration's Ukraine policy. Ukraine fired prosecutor Viktor Shokin under pressure from Biden because he was investigating Burisma Holdings, the natural gas company where Biden's son worked. The court ruled that there was adequate evidence to investigate Shokin's claim that Biden's pressure on then President Petro Poroshenko, including a threat to withhold $1 billion in U.S. loan guarantees, amounted to unlawful interference in Shokin's work as Ukraine's chief prosecutor.
Yep.
This is like, I mean, the depth of the scandal. It's right in our face. It's factual data. This has come up.
This, and honestly, what's so funny about this is there could have been, we could go out days with this. Like, what is really going on behind the scenes? What we as Americans, every single person watching this, what we are funding every day we go to work, everything that is being taken away from us now, we are funding this. And I just find it very interesting that Ukraine, the whole oil, natural gas or whatever with Ukraine, it's all very, very interesting how it all kind of connects when you sit down and pay attention to it. But there's a lot in here. And I do find it interesting that the Obama administration openly ignored the conflict of interest.
It's almost as if our FBI is not working for us. I mean, where's our Department of Justice? Where is the Federal Bureau of Investigations? Why does it seem that all of our three-letter agencies are working for everyone else except for us?
Well, I kind of feel like that's how it is.
The Americans, the United States of America. Why and where are these people? Where's the accountability? And speaking of circle back, I find it interesting that Psaki conveniently gets COVID, vaccinated. She's got COVID and can't make the trip. I wonder why that is. I really, truly wonder, and I've got a lot of speculation as to why she felt unwell enough not to go to Europe.
What speculation on that? Not to we won't go off topic too
much.
But
I mean, I don't really want to go off topic too much, but I almost wonder if she felt a little unsafe for some reason. That's all I'm going to say about that. So let's see.
We'll see if Joe makes it out alive.
I'm surprised he actually went over there knowing that these people will not even speak to him. What is going on there? I'm hoping there's some waterboarding going on, to be quite honest. I just don't even care.
Hangings,
of course, he'll have to take his mask off to do it, just, officially. So tell me more about the second laptop, Summer. I need to know more about this.
Well, I honestly don't know too much about this second laptop other than Hunter saying that the Russians broke into his hotel room, which, by the way, he really, for as much money as this man has or should have, and his dad being who his dad is, he literally stays in, like, it looks like Motel 6. It's
right.
just
Roach Motels. Roach Motels.
I mean, the poor girls. I'm like, these girls.
Well, and that's just why. That's why he's staying in those Roach Motels, because there's not a lot of characters in these unsavory places that are exactly keeping a close watch on the premises, or the perimeter of the premises. This is what these hotels are almost kind of known for at this point, and
Yeah.
it's
Pay
as
by the
sad
hour.
as it is, and that's another reason why we don't know exactly. We know Ghislaine Maxwell was indicted; she was found guilty, but we didn't know nothing more beyond that. I mean, she's guilty. She was servicing some individuals. Well, who are those individuals? Who are those
And
individuals?
here's what's sad to me is that, and I decided there were a couple times where I went back to my notes, Lise, and I had to take away the word prostitute and put sex slave, because I don't believe that a lot of these women or girls are doing this by their choice. I think that these are people that are unfortunately, from really rough countries, and they are sold to politicians. There was I'm not going to talk about it.
I'm going to get real. No, I'm going to get real here because I've seen the pictures. I saw the pictures from this disgusting laptop last year, and I'm going to be real. I know we're not. I hope to God we're not on YouTube. And if we are,
That's
we
why
won't be for
I'm not
long.
going to say anything, because
We won't be for long. I saw pictures of this disgusting idiot
he loves to be naked.
with the Obama daughters.
I know. Or what about
Obama daughters?
Pelosi's son with she looked like a young girl, like very young, like 7, 8.
Yes, I've seen the photos. It's enough to make you sick to your stomach and just hit your knees to the floor and pray to God, pray that this has some resolution soon, because this sex trafficking thing, it is bigger than all of us can imagine. It's bigger than anybody can imagine. And nobody puts the time into it because it's out of sight, out of mind. But that is the real news story in all of this. How many kids are missing across the globe
It's just don't go
year
missing.
after year?
I've said this from day one, and anybody that knows me and has listened to me on Spaces and knows my story and knows a little bit about what I stand for and who I am, kids just don't go missing.
And what do we know about Ukraine, Summer? Ukraine is known number one country known for sex trafficking.
I know.
And there's a lot of dealings going on. There's a lot of assets looking to be protected. There's a lot of people being suicided who try to speak out about this. What are they protecting?
The way I feel about this, and I think everybody watching, like, we all know how big this is to us. Like, it's big. I say it's so much bigger than that. And that is
so much bigger.
Like, it is huge. It's huge. It is. I can't wrap my head around it, because I know just from what I've, been researching and what I've watched and what I've listened to. And I'm pretty careful about who I listen to with this. It's really scary. And I know that we all have a scene in here to protect these children. And I also think it's more than that. Like, we as American citizens, like, we need to be protected from this, because, they're trying to cancel us, especially women, at every single cost. They
want to hide us away, because if they hide us away and we go missing, nobody notices. It's so scary. It's so scary that every time I'm with my daughter and we leave my home, my head is on a swivel. It's so bad that I'm terrified to even let her ride her little bike 100 feet down the sidewalk. And this is a very different childhood than my own.
Yep.
When I realized kids went missing in a time when I was a child, but not like we're seeing. And the news station, when is the last time we saw any of our media outlets, social media, legacy media, when is the last time we saw any of our media outlets actually discuss missing children? Yet there's over 200,000 missing kids just in the United States alone.
Well, and you know what, Lisa? If they gave as much attention to missing and exploited children, and the Hunter Biden laptop and Joe Biden scandal as they did to COVID, holy cow, people would never leave their house. It wouldn't even be about masks with their kids.
I think people would leave their house.
Stuck inside this house with your
people would leave their house. It'd be a full-blown revolution. There would be a witch hunt. There would be an uprising if they gave more attention, because it's all about our kids. And that's where we all are. We all have that in common. You know, we can have our disagreements all day long about politics, about economics, about environmental, we can have our disagreements all day long. But at the end of the day, the one thing that we have in common, both left and right and center and wherever you land politically, is our kids and our love for our kids and our concern for our future. That is our future. So that is our common ground. And that is what we need to bring to the surface and make so important. And that's why they suppressed this Hunter Biden bullshit. That's why they suppressed it, because there's too many backdoor dealings, and it would have exposed these assholes for who they are, and it would have absolutely stamped the truth all over the shit. It would have woke too many people up, and so many people would have been questioning themselves on how far they were led to believe garbage. There's still that need.
Can you imagine just the amount of money that they put into these vaccines or into just all the nonsense with COVID? If that money was actually put into finding these missing children,
but that doesn't make money. That doesn't make money.
Of course not.
That's not making money. That is not economics for them. It's all about how can we fill our pockets and become, even greater power. It's all about power.
Stages of it. These people own companies and corporations and businesses that have nothing to do with anything that has, with like government or whatever. It's all like Citizens RX. Hunter Biden he has him and Jeff Cooper. Citizen RX, and it's a scam. They're all scams. Knowing that,
we never look into Joe Biden's taxes, by the way. Not sure why that is. But knowing that, we know these people have more than enough money to sustain. So it doesn't actually end up being about money so much as it is about power. It's about power and asserting their dominance and becoming these, becoming and maintaining the global power overall. And how they can create a slave class. They've already started, we want to expand our slave class. We've got the sex slave trafficking thing, and it's, it's working. We like the power we exert over these people. How can we extend that over, and get more power? So there's a real sickness about all of this. And it's in the guise of, we're trying to protect you, safe and effective. Don't look there, look there,
Well, that's
I don't even know what to say about any of this.
About it. When all of this started to come out, that was the height of COVID. And that's what hit me the other night, is that this laptop scandal, there's no coincidences when it comes to timing with these people. And I do find it very interesting, the timing, the time frame.
Of course, what was happening just as the Ukraine scandal started blowing up, and what is even happening? We don't know what's real, what's not, what's theatrics, what's not, who's good, who's bad. Look here, look there. But what was happening just ahead of that, or just on the cusp of that, was Hillary Clinton, right? And the Durham report, the vaccine side effects, and the actual report from just 2-3 months of data when the initial rollout took place. Scary. Right? We saw all these different things sort of coming up, and they had to suppress it down and blow it over and smother it with Russia. We went right back to Russia.
Everything is
Russia. Or COVID.
I hate them. I hate them. I'm so angry. And you know what? I do want to go back to something. I do find it really interesting that Hunter Biden, that his whole family knew about this whole thing with his niece. And he was involved for almost 2 years with his brother's wife.
His dead brothers. widow, his dead brother's widow.
And apparently, according to a lot of the text messages between them, and then, you know, him and the uncle, which that man, oh my gosh. But, you know, why wasn't anybody protecting this girl? Why wasn't anybody seeing that, you know what? She just lost her dad. She's in a really, I mean, you know, most kids have absolutely no idea what it's like to be her. You know, her dad, her grandpa is at the time, what, VP? Nobody protected her. And that, I go back to that, like, where's the heart of our country? Nobody cares anymore about the victims. It's the criminals. The criminals are in charge. So who do they care about? The criminals. And I just think it's really sad because, you know, as somebody who has a past with this, my heart breaks for that young girl because she'll never be whole, and she'll never know what it's like to be whole. And it makes me sick. And somebody needs to be held accountable because Jill knew. She didn't say anything, but it's in there. There's text messages, and she even said, like, she was not going to let Hunter go on a family vacation because of the young girl being there.
You know, I could answer that question. Here's the thing. That whole family is so corrupt. They can't even begin pointing fingers. They'll never stop the finger pointing. So they've got to sort of, you know, carry on doing their backdoor deals and their handshakes. And, you know, they're so busy, you know, kind of trying to climb their power mountain. They don't care about they don't care about these people. And they, you know, nobody's gonna approach the senator or the vice president and say, hey, there's something funny is going on. No, we're not going to see that. So this is another, sad as it may seem, typical little rich girl. Parents are, you know, the socialite, the political, they're too busy to actually become normal human beings. They're so busied up with all of they've gotten carried away. They've gotten swept away because, you know, it's one guy stepping on another guy, and they've got to keep up the appearances. That's all they're doing. And so somebody's going to be a victim in all of this. And you don't watch what's going on. You have crappy people like Hunter Biden. And I almost kind of feel bad for the guy because he was that little person that grew up just to be, that's all he knew. He only knew how to be Chester the molester, right? That's all he knows because he likely was molested himself. It's disgusting. This is this circle. This is a circle these people live in. They can't move out of that circle. And that circle has actually become their focal point of their ultimate disgusting desires and power control. They're power tripping, and that's what they're doing.
And it makes you
it's all covered up.
Well, it is. Well, not really anymore, because look at what they're trying to do now. They're normalizing.
I don't think we even know the half of it, but you're right. They're normalizing it. And, you know, case in point, how are they normalizing it? Let's go ahead and put a Supreme Court justice up and let her be light on pedophilia. We're not gonna criminalize that. We're just gonna brush it off. We'll slap them on the wrist. They can do some probation.
Unless it's a Republican or somebody that's appointed or is close to Trump. And that's what gets me is I don't care where you are. Like, this is about humanity. And what Hunter Biden did, those pictures that are on there, never should be on there. These are young people. This is a shit ton of drugs. I mean, he doesn't hide it. He has this fascination with being on camera, I guess, seeing himself in
it's a voyeurism. It's a voyeurism.
So
it's a personality disorder. It is, of course, it's psychological.
Well, obviously, but I mean, like, it has a title.
It's abuse. Oh, absolutely. It's cyclical abuse. That's what's going on. You know, it's a manifestation. It's all he knows. And so now he gets to assert the dominance. You know, that was for his own sick-derived pleasure. So he could walk. It's the same way a serial killer always takes, you know, a token. They always take a token. They hang into that thing so they can sort of like pull themselves right back into that moment. It's almost the exact same situation that we're dealing with, right? You know, and hey, there's probably a lot more we don't know. And the
Oh,
sad
there is.
part is, for those of us that do know, I'm terrified of what we don't know
I know.
for when that comes out and is revealed. Because
Well, and
I
I'll
think
tell you this, I
we're
think
all
it
going to
is-
be stunned.
Well,
Of course
exactly. I do think that, even though a lot of us are like, we're prepared. We've been paying attention. We're awake, if you will. I don't think we even know the half, honestly, Lisa.
No.
I think it would, like I said, I try to think about how bad it is, but I think it's so much bigger because these people, for whatever reason, well, we know why. They have the power. They're the ones in control. They tell people who are bad, who are good, what is bad, what is good.
It's a game. It's a game to them. It's a game to them.
We need to
They
end it.
lost. Well, here's the thing. I mean, they pull out the race card, right? And I think they were like, this works for us every time. Let's see how far we can take this. Let's see how far we can push this, and just push that envelope a little bit harder. And oh, now we've got a pandemic. Everybody jump. We're jumping. We're jumping. We're jumping. And this Russia Ukraine thing, it boggles me how many people they immediately the vaxxed COVID believers crowd immediately jumped into I stand with Ukraine without having
And
any
I
actual
guarantee
data.
you that if this becomes a bigger issue, they will have laptops in their bio soon. Like, I stand with Hunter Biden. It was Russian collusion. I mean, this
You're right.
is where we're at.
No,
with
you're
these-
right. They're still defending it. They are still defending it. They will defend it to their death. This is the hill they die on, and they cannot be shaken or moved because it unwinds every truth they know. So those that are still defending it, they are hopeless. They cannot be woken up. They're tools. They have nothing. They're just in the way. They're interference. And that's what these people bank on, is that crowd right there. They love pulling the puppet strings. It's a puppet dance. That's all it is. We're marionettes. And when they say jump, we say how high. Nazis, white supremacists, racists, homophobics, anti-Semitics, the labeling and the labeling and the labeling. And every time something comes out that discredits them and is a real poor PR problem for them, they shift it back over to Republicans, conservatives, Trump, or, your PTO school mom who's just trying to get her kid a good education. Now she's a white supremacist, she's a neo-Nazi or
Well, and that's the thing.
what are we doing?
At what point is this going to end? When are we going to have this? Like, what are we going to do? Because it truly is going to come down to what are we going to do now? I don't know. All I know is that all I wanted to do is protect my kids because I am very worried. I am seeing what's happening. And as somebody who grew up with a pedophile, this is very worrisome for me. It's been hard couple days.
It is a lot. It's a lot to take in. But here's the problem. Ready? While we're all so focused now at look here at the Hunter Biden laptop, look here at Russia, Ukraine, guess who's rising to their superpower on top of it all? And nobody's paying attention. It ain't us. It ain't Russia. It ain't Ukraine. Who's rising? Who's rising in the background and quietly walking around, whistling with their hands clasped behind their back, like doo-doo-doo.
What they do.
Nobody's looking. And while nobody's looking because we're all so focused on what's going on over here, that's when shit hits the storm over there. And then it starts to infiltrate and everything's like, when did this happen? How did this happen? Why are we here? Who did this, right?
And Lisa, do you feel like sometimes they do that? Like, especially like with this whole situation? Because I remember when this, this was like at the height of my awakening. And I was like, oh my gosh, who is this perv? And oh, he is related to the person. Oh my God, bless us. All of a sudden he's coming back. It's like, oh wait. And guess who he has dealings with? China. We need to be very, very careful of that silent but deadly China.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. I'm
because
so worried
they're
about
all
that. I don't.
every single one
Yeah.
of them. It's
And
so
Korea's flexing. Korea's flexing because I think they're aware of it. They're aware of it, and they're everybody else seems to be on guard right now, right? But while
and
we've
they're
got this
best.
busyness, and who are we laundering this money to really? Where is all this? Here's another 14 billion, here's another 13 billion. Our poor children's children are going to be slaves. That's how stupid this is. What are
Well,
we just, are we printing
erase
money? It really
history.
does grow on trees. My parents told me it didn't grow on trees, but they lied because apparently it does. Shit is growing on
Only if
trees.
you're in politics. Well, here's
It
the thing.
doesn't mean
You
anything.
erase history, any part of it, it's damned to repeat itself. And that's what's
Yes.
happening. It's happening with women. We're seeing it again. Here we go.
Yes,
We're
here we go.
seeing it with pedophilia. We're seeing it with,
Yes.
I mean, it's just going on and on. And my whole thing is that they want it to be to where they, all my notes here, all these people on my notes are the ones that are able to determine what our kids, what their kids, their sex, their gender, how much money they make, the jobs they're allowed to have. These assholes that literally are criminals are able to determine everything about our future, which, fortunately we only have 40, 50 something years left.
Yeah. Listen.
But our kids, our grandkids, if we ever have them, because my kids got jabs. So
wait, what's a kid? What's a kid? How do you define a kid? Age is just a number. Age doesn't mean you're a kid. Age doesn't mean you're an adult. That's where we're going, right? We stamp out women. We stamp out men. We create the unigender, the transhumanism model, where we're all just a heartbeat and some skin and some hair, and we're not any particular gender. So now that we've cornered that market, there's no such thing as age.
But why is it
pedophilia? What is pedophilia? That's where we're headed. That is where we're going.
Well, that's what they want. I've been saying this, and anybody who knows me and has been listening to me for the last almost 2 years, year and a half, knows that has been my thing. They're trying to normalize pedophilia. And as somebody, like I said, this is a very big thing for me. But my whole thing is that where is there going to be some point of accountability? Like, they choose who's
going to do
it, to things,
but who's going to do it?
Who isn't?
So who's bigger than these people? Who's bigger than these people right now? Who's going to do it? Who's going to do it?
I'm just waiting for a big angel and a horn behind me, just and be like, "Oh, he's here!" Chariots of fire, and we're all gone. And I cannot wait for that day. But I feel like we got to go through hell to get there. And boy, are we.
The only way this is going to untangle itself is by an uprising. That is all. And the common thing that unites us all is our children, our future, evolution. And until these people, I got vaccinated, and I'm so thankful I was vaccinated because I got COVID for the 4th time crowd. Those people, until they wake the fuck up and realize where we're at, and that we're all skidding down this path of we're going to be hanging out wearing Oculuses in a pod, and they're going to feed us this pretty movie line while they sit there and pull whatever shit out of our body they need and then deem us useless, or send us off to the slave market of the big corporate, whatever. We do our work, manpower if it's even needed, and because AI is taking over. If they need us, the strong survive. They send the muscles over. And as soon as you've done what you've done, boop, turn you up. You're no longer needed. We no longer want to reproduce. Children apparently are bad for the environment. Children are bad for the environment, according to NBC. Now, mind you, that's an opinion article, but whose asshole opinion is making it onto an NBC page and pushing its way through here? Children are bad for the environment.
I don't even know.
Are you kidding me? You know what's bad for the environment? Hunter Biden. Biden and Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama and Mike Obama, those are bad for our environment. Zelensky's bad for our environment. Z is bad for our environment.
Well, I'll tell you this.
Extra, plus, woke crowd, that's bad for our environment. Those people are really shitty for our civilization.
Yep.
They are trying to undo civilization. I swear to God, I think.
Well, they want to
I think
undo
our guest
everything
last
that
week
this
was right.
country was founded on. They
That's right.
hate the Constitution. They hate that we have rights and rules that we're allowed to abide by and that we're protected by. But in closing, I want to go back to this: is where's the heart of this country? If we are standing here,
Sorry.
and I know I love her. Look at her. She's
I have to show her up.
so
Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off. I've got to
Little
soften us so we can do a soft close. Because otherwise we'll just
Alpha know
run.
her new Luna.
I think he does. This is my
She's so
Luna
cute.
Bella.
Luna
Hi,
Bella.
Luna Bella.
But
I bet
this
no, you
is
can't
my,
see her.
here's my
She's black as
closing.
night.
I have a lot to say about all this, but where's the heart of our country? And at what point are we going to finally rise up and say, for these kids that are victims of disgusting men and women who are okay with this, what are we going to do? Because we have a calling now. We have to do something. We know that this is now true. We're not conspiracy theorists. I think I'm lagging big time. But
You are a little bit.
sorry. Eric's probably on the internet. My bad. No,
Eric, get off the internet. Eric, get off the internet.
internet. Anyways, we have, as a nation, we have to worry about where this is going and what's happening, and we need to be paying very close attention to this, and we need to be educating those around us. And
I don't want us to be worrying anymore. I want us to be taking action. I think we've done enough worrying. I can tell you, we've done enough worrying. I work in mental health. The worry is out of control. We need action. We need to motivate our neighbors, our family, our friends, our neighbors, our community. We need to motivate people to wake up. I'm tired. Those who can be woken up, that's where we need to focus on. And let these people know. Send them as much information. Info bomb them. I don't care if they block you. Oh, well, apparently that one's a lost cause. Move on. Keep doing it. Just start informing people. Get out there, raise the awareness, and make people pay attention. Are you pissed off about this? What can we do about it?
you should be pissed off about this.
I don't know how does this movie end? I mean, I feel like we're watching like the Russian doll movie. I don't know what's going on right now. There's so much shit going on in this whole entire ordeal. I think our last week's guest was right. I think the world ended in 2012 and we entered this weird portal of hell that we're all stuck in and can't seem to get out of because of the dirty, demonic, demon Democrat. I hate them. They're awful.
They're awful. Well, they certainly don't like us or our children or us as women. They definitely don't like women.
We are gum under their shoe. We are useless tools. We are nothing and easily impressionable and dumber than a box of rocks, according to them and their pedophilia ways, who can't even raise their children correctly because they're banging babysitters and dumping their wives out of a car and killing and digging their dead brothers' widows to bed and molesting their nieces or the president's daughters, both of them. Disgusting.
It's gross.
I can't stand these people, and I can't. I want to see some action. I want to see some action.
I do too. Well,
and I say right now, because I know we're going to close, but everybody needs to take care of themselves and their neighbors, because who the hell knows what's coming our way. Prepare yourselves, prepare your home, prepare your family, prepare in every possible way you can. Sow the seeds, because you don't know what's coming your way. Build your castle and protect it. So,
and take care of those babies.
And take care of your babies. Head on a swivel. Head on a swivel. Take care of those babies.
Take care. That's our thing, is leave our kids alone. Like, they're coming for these kids. Leave our kids alone. And
leave our kids alone.
That's the biggest thing is they just, for whatever reason, they are coming after these kids. So with that, it's so good to see your beautiful face.
And yours too, Summer. I think, we really tried. We tried so hard to stay focused on our content outline, but it's you and I, and
proud.
You know, it's you and I don't think he is. I think we just do what we do. I mean, this is what we do. We are like little monkeys chasing each other around in a big giant tree with a lot of colorful branches. Look here. Oh, this. Oh, that. That's just
Well,
who we
there's
are.
so
That's how
much
we roll.
going on
And
in
I'm
the world.
sorry,
It's
guys.
so hard. Like,
It's hard to stay focused on it all. It's so hard, but you know, we're doing our best and we hope we're delivering at least, you know, some entertaining content as best as possible with some actual, you know, we want to share data that, you know, are things that you guys haven't heard before. And, you know, it's hard now trying to keep up with it and get ahead of it because it's coming out at, you know, it's a flood. It's a flood just like we heard it would be, the trickle and then the flood. So, you know, with that, we've got a awesome guest next week. I just secured him honestly an hour before our show came on here. So we will definitely be revealing that, but we're gonna have some great topics and it's gonna sort of kind of lead off from what we're discussing tonight with the sex trafficking and our kids. And I think it's gonna be an amazing show.
topics, if not
This is the most important. We need to keep it relevant. Keep it in the news. You know, keep it in our news, even if it's our back channel, the real news. Who's delivering it now? Who's actually paying attention? Keep this as relevant as possible. Don't let any of this other shit deter us, and keep our eyes so focused on and us squabbling like idiots because that's exactly what they want in every possible way. We need to stay vigilant and stay alert because there's other shit going on while everybody's holding their Ukraine flag.
Well, with that said, I'm going to close with my American flag.
I'm going to close with my Space Force. I love my Space Force hoodie. Space Force, please save us.
American flags all over my house, my front yard, my backyard. Everybody here knows who I am and where I stand. So thank you. Thank you, Alpha. We love you. And thank you to everybody who participated with us tonight. And I hope that we gave you some good content. And there's a lot of different rabbit holes to go down. And I say go down them and educate other people who may not know what's truly going on. So with that, hour.
Yep, there we go. We did it. We did it in 60 minutes and we're going to close out. Love you. Peace out.
The big studios have held back artists for far too long. The system is set up to reward the studios and not the artists. In this polarized world, where everything is viewed through a political lens, it used to be entertainment that allowed us to escape. Whether it was a great movie, music, or a favorite entertainer, we always had those mediums to free us from our daily lives. At Creado, we are developing a brand new solution built with the artists in mind, empowering them to deliver original content directly to an engaged audience. Whether you are an investor or you simply want to support our mission, you can become a member today. We are ready to take the next step to bring this to market, but we need your help. Join our mission today at creado.media, and together we will let freedom stream.